The Hong Kong Marathon ends in confusion after officials disqualify the winner and the runner-up of the half marathon. Hong Kong's only delegate to the National People's Congress to push for the expansion of multiple entry visa scheme to other mainland cities. And one person is confirmed dead, but 28 others are still missing from the devastating landslide that hit Sichuan Province yesterday. Good evening, you're now watching Cable News. I'm Cheryl Yun. The Hong Kong Marathon went on without a glitch from start to finish, but there was a confusion with the results hours after the race ended, when organizers disqualified the winner and second-place finisher of the half marathon. Mainland's HOYIBC won the half marathon, finishing the race in 1 hour 5 minutes and 36 seconds, followed by compatriot Shun Xiaoyang 2 minutes later. However, the pair were later stripped of their positions because of a mix-up in their bib numbers. Following their disqualification, Hong Kong's Vincent Lam, who had originally finished third, was declared the new champion. Similar confusion unfolded in the 10-kilometer race, where the runner who initially claimed second place using bib number 40083 was disqualified, as the number belonged to another runner, Lian Jiehuai, who finished sixth. The Hong Kong-China Association of Athletics Affiliates confirmed the mix-up leading to the disqualifications. Dennis Ng, the association's executive director, emphasized the importance of ensuring accurate results and pledged to investigate the incident further. Half-marathon winner Christy Yu described the incident as shocking and unheard of, but believed that it was an honest mistake. It did not involve any cheating, as the two of them merely mixed up their bib numbers. They are both very capable runners, she said. All the confusion and chaos overshadowed the victory of Kenya's Bethwell Kikemboy. The 32-year-old won the marathon in 2 hours, 11 minutes and 13 seconds. Wang Wenchun was the fastest Hong Konger in the men's event, clocking 2 hours, 21 minutes and 4 seconds, his personal best for the 4th consecutive year. In the women's marathon, Volka Mezeronek from Belarus claimed the championship with a time of 2 hours and 27 minutes, while the SAR's Christy Yu set a new local record in the half marathon, crossing the line in 1 hour, 15 minutes and 9 seconds, attributing her success to favorable weather conditions. More than 70,000 runners hit the streets of the SAR early this morning to take part in the 27th edition of the annual Hong Kong Marathon. With the mercury hovering at 10 degrees Celsius and the low humidity added up to make the conditions perfect for the long run. Jeremy Zhu reports.
Acting Chief Executive Eric Chan and Police Commissioner Raymond Siu flagged off the half marathon from Nathan Road in Tsim Sha Tsui at 5:30 a.m. Nearly 20% of participants were from overseas, and roughly 42,500 runners had signed up for the full and half marathon, while more than 30,000 enjoyed the more leisurely 10-kilometer run starting at the Island East Corridor. Lan Kwai Fong Group Chairman Alan Zeman, Tourism Board Executive Director Deng Chang, and Secretary for Health Lo Chung Mao also took part. Despite difficulties, runners steadily made their way to Victoria Park to complete the race. This woman, who had injured her leg 3 weeks prior, was emotional after she beat her personal record by over 20 seconds in the half marathon. Organizers confirmed that at least 20 runners required hospitalization. A foreign female runner was among them and was taken to Rutongji Hospital. Another male runner was also rushed to the ER wearing an oxygen mask. Jeremy Zhu, Cable News.
Despite all the controversy and chaos after the race, the Hong Kong Marathon did not disappoint, and there was no shortage of people having fun on the run, making the event a joyful and very colorful spectacle. Quentin Yang has the story.
This Ironman did not fly to the finish line, but started off at a good pace to get there. The minions were also slow at the start, but most likely picked up speed after grabbing a banana and an energy bar, which were provided by the organizers. Coming all the way from New York, Lady Liberty graced the streets of Hong Kong, bringing in all the fun from the Big Apple.
This is my first time running the Hong Kong Marathon. I've done marathons in other places, mainly New York City, in Chicago.
This joker, who came all the way from Beijing, said the event is a must-do race in Asia. Onlookers were a bit surprised when a pair of superheroes came out of the Western Harbour Tunnel. Why not add some joy? Hong Kongers deserve to smile, laughed this runner named Learn. His caped companion agreed, adding that his spandex suit was perfect for 10 degrees Celsius weather, breathable but cozy. And despite being a Sunday, the suit-clad runner appeared to be heading to work in Causeway Bay. One Hong Kong hero who does not need any introduction was at the finish line. A frequent participant, Chow Yun-fa clocked 2 hours 24 minutes in the half marathon. Next year, 2:20, the 69-year-old vowed. The warm sunshine brought more cheer and enthusiasm to the race, as the annual event on Hong Kong's sporting calendar ended successfully. Quentin Ya, Cable News.
Hong Kong's sole delegate to the nation's top legislature, Starry Lee, is set to push for an expansion of the multi-visa scheme to cover more cities in the Greater Bay Area and to propose measures to attract more talents to the city in the upcoming 2 sessions held in March.
We would like to suggest to have a special, corridor, just like the stock market connected. If a similar arrangement can establish for property usage or property, those who come to Hong Kong need to have house to live. Then for property-related expenditure, then I think it can facilitate Hong Kong to serve and attract more talent.
Lee highlighted the city's urgent need for economic reform, pointing out that Hong Kong's focus on traditional sectors contrasts sharply with the progress made in the new economy sectors in China and the U.S. She also emphasized the need for closer ties between the SAR government and the central government amidst the complex geopolitical landscape. Early morning traffic heading to the airport was disrupted after a tour bus collided with a taxi on the Tsing Ma Bridge, injuring 3 people. Online footage captured the severely damaged taxi in the slow lane of the bridge. An injured person was seated by the roadside and a policeman was also hurt in the incident. Debris from the collision was scattered across the road. The incident happened around 4 a.m. when a taxi broke down while on its way to the airport, and a traffic officer arrived to provide assistance. Shortly after, a tour bus failed to stop in time and rammed into the taxi and the police motorcycle. The taxi driver, 1 passenger, and the police officer were swiftly taken to hospital in a conscious state. Some lanes on the bridge heading towards the airport were temporarily closed and traffic was routed through the lower level. Financial Secretary Paul Chan hailed the worldwide recognition of the Hong Kong Marathon, which puts the SAR on the international sporting map. Writing on his weekly blog, the financial chief noted that the marathon combines sports with the city's landscape, with hundreds of shops along the route supporting the event, maximizing economic benefits and serving as a model for sports-driven tourism. Several major events are scheduled for next month, including the opening of the Kai Tak Sports Park, which will host international sports and entertainment events. Chan expressed optimism over the economic impact of the sporting venue and the promotion of a dynamic Hong Kong. At least 1 person has been confirmed dead and 28 others are still missing after a devastating landslide hit southwest Sichuan Province yesterday. Quentin Yang reports.
The disaster struck Jinping Village in Yibin City, roughly 280 kilometers south of the provincial capital Chengdu, burying 10 houses and trapping dozens of residents. 2 people were rescued, sustaining non-life-threatening injuries. President Xi Jinping has ordered an all-out rescue for those trapped. Vice Premier Liu Guozhong rushed to the disaster site to oversee the search and rescue efforts and coordinate emergency response measures. A command center has been set up at the scene. Over 950 emergency workers, including armed police, firefighters, and other forces, have been deployed to assist the rescue efforts. Excavating equipment, fire engines, and ambulances are on standby to help in the relief efforts. A total of 360 people from 95 nearby households have been evacuated. Temporary shelters have been set up to accommodate the evacuees. Kun Tingyang, Cable News.
U.S. tech billionaire Elon Musk said he has no intention of buying short video app TikTok, which is facing restrictions in the United States. Although President Trump has postponed a ban on the app, he wants American ownership for the platform due to national security concerns over its Chinese parent company, ByteDance. Jeremy Zhu reports.
During a virtual appearance at a summit, Musk said he has not submitted a bid for TikTok, noting that he has no plans for the app and does not use it himself. The Tesla and SpaceX CEO highlighted that he rarely acquires companies, preferring to build them from scratch. He cited his takeover of Twitter, now rebranded as X, as an exception, driven by his commitment to protecting free speech. TikTok boasts approximately 170 million active users in the U.S. Trump has granted ByteDance a 75-day extension to explore selling its U.S. operations to a non-Chinese entity, a requirement under legislation signed by former President Joe Biden. Despite the pressure, ByteDance has maintained that it has no plans to sell TikTok. Meanwhile, several investors have expressed interest in acquiring the popular app. Jeremy Zhu, Cable News.
On to the weather now. Fine and dry tomorrow with a minimum temperature of 13 degrees Celsius and a couple of degrees lower in the New Territories. It will be overcast with a few light rain patches later in the week. Now let's take a look at the weather around the world. And that's our news tonight. I'm Cheryl Yun. Thanks for watching and good night.